Okay, everyone, never ever mess with light switches or fixtures in other people's houses or in public buildings. If it's your own house, that is totally fine, but outside of your own house, especially in a public building, that is not okay at all. So, when you are at someone's house, you don't go up to their light switches and flick them on and off. You don't do that. If you do that, you will be banned from the party they are hosting. And if it's during New Year's, you will not watch the ball drop. You will have to go to bed early on New Year's as a punishment. Learn this from me because one time I did something like this at someone's house during New Year's, and guess what? I had to go to bed early that year, and I couldn't watch the ball drop because I was doing that with their light switches. So that's why you never ever do that outside of your own house. Also, never take the switch off the wall, never paint it, never take the plate off the switch, never get a screwdriver and unscrew it. If you take the switch off the wall, not only are you going to get into big trouble, but you will get electrocuted. Even in your own house, you will get electrocuted. But the consequences are more severe if you are doing it at someone else's house or in a public building. So leave those things alone outside of your own house. Unless you are asked to turn the light on or off. Or if you are going to the bathroom and you need to turn on the light. But if it's not for those reasons, leave those things alone. Especially if that is going to emergency equipment or HVAC systems, and especially in vulnerable households. During extreme heat or extreme cold, if you cut the heat off during the winter, you are going to cause people to freeze to death. And if you cut the AC off during the summer, you are going to cause people to have a heat stroke. So that's why you never ever mess with those things, especially in vulnerable households with the AC in the summer or the heat in the winter. Even in your own house, you don't do that, but especially outside of your own house. And if this goes to emergency equipment and you mess with that, you are going to get arrested because that is tampering with life safety equipment. If you mess with a light switch that goes to emergency equipment, what you are literally doing is pulling the fire alarm. And we all know the consequences for pulling the fire alarm without an emergency or without authorization. So, if that switch goes to emergency equipment, you will have the same consequences as you would have if you pull the fire alarm for fun. So never ever mess with that if that goes to life safety equipment, especially because if you do, then you are pulling the fire alarm. Also, with fixtures, never take them off the ceiling, never take the globes off of them, never take the bulbs out of them. Never break the bulbs, especially if they are CFLs or fluorescent light bulbs, because there will be mercury in your house and you have to evacuate your house and stay with someone else until you get your house cleaned out of mercury. With ceiling fans, never take them off the ceiling, never change the speed or the direction on them, never turn them on if people don't want them on. Never turn them off if people do want them on because they want air to move around. If the fan is going counterclockwise, don't switch it to clockwise, and if it's going clockwise, don't switch it to counterclockwise. You leave those things alone. If the fan is on high speed, don't put it on medium or low. If it's on medium speed, don't put it on low or high. If it's on low speed, don't put it on medium or high. You leave the speed alone, unless it's your own fan. But if it's a fan somewhere else, no. Also, never jump up into any fan or else you will get hurt. Never turn the lights off on people, and never turn them on when someone is asleep. Even in your own house with your own family, but especially if you are at your grandparents' house, leave their lights alone. Or in anyone's house that is not yours, or especially in a public building, leave the fixtures alone. Bye.